Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be building the interior of our mansion here. So I already went ahead and I went and collected some materials for the interior. Did some end city raiding for some of these coarse flowers, and some end stone, but mainly for the end rods. I also collected some cordites, logs, from last episode. And before we get started, this is a pretty big house, and obviously I'm gonna need some ideas for some rooms. So if you guys have any ideas for maybe a room that you would like to see, or if you want a room yourself and you want something specific in it, drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys want. But yeah, today we're gonna be focusing on this area around here. We're gonna be building here. I want to have a library, and then we're gonna have a hallway. We're gonna have a kitchen down here and another hallway that goes down. And if we have time, we're gonna get started over here. I want to build a dining room. So let's get started with that. Starting with the entryway, I tore out the planks for stone bricks and smooth stone slabs pattern. For the hallways, I went with a simplistic design, using spruce wood pillars in the corners as supports. I used a row of smooth stone with a white and blue wool pattern on top for the walls. I'm planning on having different patterns and colors for each hallway. For the ceiling, I put some quartz with some redstone lamps covered by cordites trapdoors. I finished off the hallways by adding paintings, carpets, plants, and desks. For this hallway, I used light blue wool instead of the blue wool with the same decorations. For the kitchen, I start by taking out the floor and doing a checkered pattern with stone bricks and quartz while placing some of the walls for an outline of the area. I used glazed grey terracotta for one of the walls to serve as an accent to the room, coming in with the quartz ceiling and the rest of the walls to finish the outline of the kitchen. The grey concrete will serve as a pantry. I put in the lights, the remaining furniture, and minor details before working on the pantry. This room is pretty simple, but I'll need to add some chests onto those shelves later on. Then, I continued the hallway but with black wool instead to indicate an intersection. I kept working on the hallway with black wool to lead into the dining hall. In the kitchenette, I kept the same wool pattern and added the appliances. Kitchenettes only have basic furniture like a fridge and a sink, so I kept this area pretty simple. Getting into the dining hall, I start by building the pillars and the wool pattern. I went with a 2 blocks high purple cross pattern. I wanted a cathedral type of ceiling for the dining hall to have space for the chandelier. I added 3 rows of dark oak wood to split up the ceiling and add structure to the room. I went with this design for the chandeliers, which is pretty simple but gets the job done. I wanted to have an area carpet under the table with an outline of smooth andesite and magenta carpet, which looks more like purple than magenta, but who's complaining, right? The table is oak wood and the chairs are made of sandstone, paleograph tree doors, and fancy item frames. I added more lighting and some flower pots as cups and iron pressure plates as dinner plates. I added more greenery, including this green wall with oak leaves and spruce leaves to add life to the room. I decided to build a lounge behind the dining room with smooth andesite and magenta terracotta. I added a fireplace to the room using stone bricks, with paintings, a sofa, and a bookshelf. Then I finished off the area by reconnecting to the dining room via another kitchenette on the other side that includes a window. Moving on to the library, I had to extend the hallway so that the room would be more symmetric. I started by making a layout of the staircase and putting glowstone in the floor that's going to get covered by carpet later on. This serves as a great discrete and hidden lighting idea. I put in the rest of the carpet and the remaining pillars to outline the room. Then I worked on getting the second floor done by putting this floor, ceiling, lights, carpets, railings, and the spruce wall. Now it was time to decorate the two floors. Since it's a library, it's obviously missing some bookshelves. So let's get those in there. The chisel mod allows for different types of bookshelves, which adds textures to them like different types of books, and even some that have cobwebs in them. I put some extra bookshelves to fill the empty space on the first floor. The third floor will only be accessible from another hallway, which will be built at another time. I started to run out of materials, so I built as much as I could before going on another material run, including a little platform that will serve as a reading area. And we're back. So, my audio, or my recording actually, fell apart after building some of the third floor. So I'll show you guys around. So I just kept on building bookshelves all around, and then having a seating area up here, just so you could read a book and then enjoy the view, all of that stuff with a little bit of greenery. And this was the hallway that I was talking about. Ideally, it would go all the way down to there. But yeah, no, I didn't build it yet just because this is probably the longest video, or the video that took me the longest to do, but probably the shortest that I'm gonna post. But yeah, no, I'll show you guys the rest as kind of like a walkthrough of the interior, and then we'll finish off the episode. So this is the second floor of the library. Just some painting, some seating area just all around, with some flower pots here and there. And then obviously there's glowstone underneath the carpet, just for extra lighting. So same thing down here, just seating area, more bookshelves, typical stuff you'd see in a library. And then with the checkered pattern here for the entryway, that brings you back to where we were at the start of the episode. And then same thing on this side, same pattern. Here I'm gonna probably build like a little sitting area just on the balcony, and then have a bridge that goes across this kind of like ravine. And then on this side I'm probably gonna have all of the farmland for the kitchen and for the food that I need, as well as probably the food for the dinosaurs. One interesting thing about the library is that I tried to replicate this carpet pattern on this one with the green, lime, and black carpet with this one. Realistically, I could have went with just green carpet all around, but I feel like this just adds a little bit of more texture to the area. But I had to extend this hallway, as I mentioned earlier, so I just added a painting instead, a 2x2 with a lamp and just some more decorations. Same thing here. I added a seating area so you could sit out against the window. This is obviously probably the main entrance, or just an entrance to the building. Just again, more decorations, and then light blue wool instead of the blue wool, as well as the light blue carpet. And then same thing on this side with the same decorations on the walls. This is the lounge. So if ever you're waiting, you could sit down waiting for your meal in the dining room, but just with different paintings and stuff like that, fireplace. And then here's the kitchenette. Again, pretty simple, nothing too big. And then you have the dining area where this was the chair design that I decided to go with. I added some details in every room, just working on it after recording. But in this area, I added these end rods as candles because while I was building the lounge, a zombie spawned and started breaking this door. So I had to put some extra lighting down, and this is what I came up with just to make the light level up to 7, which I think is what it needs to be so that mobs don't spawn. And then, of course, the chandeliers. Here's the second kitchenette that overlooks my. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was possible. That guy needs to get out of there so that this can keep working. Um, yeah, I've actually never noticed that before. That's crazy. But yeah, so it's gonna overlook the world. And then this is just an intersection, another window. You can see more of the lab than in the kitchenette from here, but ideally, again, as I mentioned every episode, the redwood forest is eventually going to be taking all of this area so that you won't see just a regular Minecraft forest, you'll see the custom redwood forest that I'm building. But this brings us back here. And then if we go into the kitchen, there's nothing much here. I'm gonna add some chests and some shelves just for the freezer so I can keep the meats and everything that needs to be cold. And then here I'm probably gonna add the tools that Pam's Harvestcraft brings to Minecraft just to make more meals. Which reminds me, I forgot to put a crafting table, which I'll need to plop in here eventually, which I can do right now. Gonna put it right in the middle, just like that. So I guess I can, yeah, I have access to one furnace, but yeah, there we go. And then this is the pantry. Obviously, I need to add some chests in here as well, but that's something for another day. I also have I think it's like iron chest mod. Yeah, there we go. So I'm probably gonna put some crystal chests in the pantry and in the freezer just so that I can fit a lot more food in here and I don't have to worry about constantly going back to the farmland and back here. Just a lot of back and forth that I won't have to do. But yeah, that's it for the interior so far. Just these are the skulls that I got from killing mobs as I was building. I added beheading to the God Killer or God Slayer, and I added haste because I wanted to see what it was gonna do, but obviously it didn't do anything, so I guess that's a waste of an upgrade, but it is what it is. But yeah, so that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.